At a hospital, the doctor questions why an X-ray was ordered for a man with only a bite wound on his hand. He asks a nurse named Anna to find the patient. She checks the system and discovers the patient has been sent to the ICU. Anna returns home to her husband, Louis. They spend the night together, oblivious to the breaking news on TV. The next morning, Louis wakes up to find their neighbor, Vivian, standing in the doorway. Louis is stunned as her face is covered in blood. He quickly tells Anna to call an ambulance and goes to help the girl. Suddenly, Vivian lunges and bites Louis on the neck. Horrified, Anna shoves Vivian out of the room as Louis collapses onto the bed. Vivian keeps trying to attack Anna. She quickly locks the door before checking on her husband. Anna uses a pillowcase to staunch the bleeding and tries to call for help, but an automated message reports that all lines are busy. As Vivian pounds relentlessly on the door, Louis stops breathing. A moment later, he reanimates as a zombie and attacks Anna. She pushes him away and grabs the car keys. As Louis starts destroying the room, Anna flees into the bathroom. Louis stumbles into the bathtub. She tries to escape through the window, but it's stuck. Then, silence falls. Anna cautiously approaches the door and calls her husband's name, but Louis bursts through it. Anna tries the window again and finally manages to open it. As she's climbing out, Louis tries to grab her. She kicks him away and jumps from the house. On the street, people are running in a panic. Houses are on fire, and explosions are heard. Anna tries to get information from a neighbor, but the man tells her to back away, aiming a gun at her. Suddenly, an ambulance crashes into the man at full speed and drives off without checking on him. Meanwhile, the zombified Louis emerges from the house. Anna rushes to her car, but Louis lunges at it, trying to break the glass. Luckily, he falls off as she drives away. The entire city is in chaos. Driving is difficult as everyone flees for their lives. Some try to get into her car for help. The radio station wants citizens to stay indoors and lock all doors and windows securely. There are also reports that not even military bases are safe. Anna finally makes it to the highway. It is filled with wreckage, explosions, and the screams of people. The most shocking sight of all is the zombies ravenously feasting on corpses. Anna screams as someone yanks her car door open. Anna shoves the man away and tries to drive off again, but her car veers off the road and crashes hard into a tree. As the world faces the zombie apocalypse, officials tell the media they don't know how it started or if there's a cure. Soon, people begin to riot in the streets. They demand government action, but the military steps in to take control. Soldiers seize the city, trying to manage both humans and zombies. Hospitals are overflowing with the injured. Many buildings are bombed. Anna wakes up to find herself with a police officer named Kenneth. He asks her to say something to prove she's human. Once convinced she isn't a zombie, they set off together. Along the way, they encounter 3 other survivors. The group of survivors opens fire immediately, thinking Anna and Kenneth are zombies. When they realize they're human, they stop shooting. This group has been trying to escape for a while, but every route is overrun with zombies. They all agree to head for the shopping mall instead, as they try to pry open a door to the mall. A horde of zombies gets closer and closer. Kenneth decides to shoot the lock, allowing everyone to get inside. At the last second, a zombie grabs the door. Kenneth kicks it away before quickly shutting the door tight. Inside, they turn on the lights and survey the area. The phones are dead. They find themselves trapped in a store with a locked gate. They work together to throw a toilet through the glass to get into the main area. Anna rushes to a fountain to wash the blood of her, while the others check the entrance and find it's also sealed. Andre and Michael volunteer to check the other entrances. The rest stay to guard the main entrance. Reaching a back exit, Andre sees a zombie trying to break through a glass door, but luckily it's reinforced glass. Meanwhile, Michael walks to the arcade and grabs a large sledgehammer from a game machine to use as a weapon. Then he hears a noise at the back door. Suddenly, a zombie lunges out. knocking Michael down. The hammer in his hand falls to the floor and breaks in two. Michael struggles desperately to keep the zombie from biting him before grabbing the broken hammer and ramming it through the zombie's head. Inside the mall, a zombie appears and grabs the arm of Luda, Andre's pregnant wife. Kenneth quickly strikes it with his gun, causing the zombie to attack him instead. It pushes Kenneth into the fountain. As they struggle, Anna sees Kenneth's gun on the floor. She picks it up and shoots the zombie, hitting its shoulder. It's enough to give them time to escape. The three of them regroup with the others and head for an elevator. When they reach the top floor, they find three armed security guards blocking the entrance. The guards tell them to leave. After a brief argument, Anna persuades the guards to let them in. The condition is that they must surrender their weapons. Upstairs in the mall, Anna's group watches the news on TV and learns that the chaos has spread worldwide. They also learn that the way to kill a zombie is to destroy its brain. One of the security guards mentions that Fort Pastor is the safest place, which immediately interests Kenneth, as that's where his brother is stationed. Andre takes Luda to the bathroom and finds a small wound on her arm. But Andre doesn't think it's a big deal. Anna goes to find a first aid kit. The stress begins to overwhelm her, but she collects herself and tends to Kenneth's wounds. Michael suggests they should reinforce the mall's weak points and paint a help signal on the roof in case a helicopter flies by. Meanwhile, the security guards go down to the fountain and find a zombie convulsing in it. It's one of their former colleagues. Though it's painful, they have no choice but to shoot the zombie in the head. Afterwards, the guards patrol the various stores, eliminating any remaining zombies. Then they help carry the bodies to the roof and throw them off the mall while the others are making the help sign. Looking down from the roof, they saw that the city was full of zombies. Suddenly, a gunshot is heard. They grab binoculars to look, and they see a man on the roof of a gun shop. He holds up a sign saying he's alone, then puts it down and points to the sky. When everyone looks up, they see a helicopter flying past. They quickly wave for help, but the helicopter pays them no mind and flies away. That night, the security guards lock Anna's group in a store to prevent them from stealing supplies. Michael thinks they need to do something, as help may never arrive. But Andre still believes the helicopter will return. Kenneth ignores both of them. His only goal is to get to Fort Pastor to find his brother. Meanwhile, the security guards are watching TV and hear a priest claim that the zombies are God's punishment sent to chastise humanity. The next morning, everyone is startled awake when the mall's automated system turns on the lights and blares music throughout the building. They quickly turn on the TV and find the signal is now gone. Terry, one of the security guards, volunteers to go check the control room. On his way, he passes Anna's group. She uses the opportunity to convince Terry to let them out to use the restroom. Terry hesitates for a moment. He finally agrees to open the door, then heads to the control room to turn off the music and check the security cameras. Terry is shocked to see a truck heading towards their location. Terry quickly alerts the others. Everyone rushes to the roof to see what's happening. They argue over whether they should help the survivors on the truck. Anna insists they should help, but CJ and Bart, the other two security guards, disagree, not trusting strangers. Michael and Kenneth use the opportunity to attack CJ and Bart, disarming them and locking them up. Anna and Luda make a sign directing the truck to the back door, but instead of driving there, the truck reverses and crashes into the building. Andre and Michael have no choice but to go out and fight the zombies to help the survivors in the truck. They shoot every zombie that gets close until they run out of ammo and have to rush back inside the mall. Luckily, the survivors in the truck are safe. They intentionally crash the truck into the building so they could climb a ladder into the mall, avoiding the zombie horde. Once everyone is safe, Anna announces she will perform a physical check to see if anyone has been bitten. The new survivors include men, women, and the elderly. One elderly woman appears to be in very bad shape and is brought in on a gurney. Kenneth suggests using the truck to drive to Fort Pastor, but Steve and Norma say they just fled from there. Fort Pastor is completely overrun by zombies. Frustrated, Kenneth walks up to the roof. He sees Andy holding up a sign asking what happened. Kenneth signals back that Fort Pastor is gone and no help is coming. Andy flashes a sarcastic message that makes Kenneth laugh. Meanwhile, Terry checks on the very ill elderly woman. Anna checks her pulse and confirms that the woman has died. Anna covers her body with a sheet, but suddenly the woman jolts upright. When everyone sees she has become a zombie, they scramble to get away. Anna grabs a fireplace poker and stabs her in the eye. Anna now realizes that a bite is what causes the transformation into a zombie. She quickly tells everyone, and one of the survivors named Frank reveals he has been bitten. Anna suggests that Frank should be quarantined, but Michael disagrees. He says they need to deal with Frank before he turns into a zombie. Kenneth agrees with Michael, so Anna quickly goes to warn Frank. His daughter, Nicole, pleads with everyone to spare her father's life, but her pleas are in vain. Nicole is given a moment to say her final goodbye. Then Frank is taken into a sealed room, with Kenneth standing guard over him. When Frank turns into a zombie, Kenneth confirms that Anna's hypothesis was correct. Then he pulls the trigger. As time passes, the group of survivors tries to find activities to keep from being consumed by fear. Kenneth plays chess with Andy, using written signs. Bart and CJ play cards in their cell. Anna watches movies with Michael. Nicole and Terry stargaze together on the roof, while Steve and Monica enjoy playing rooftop golf, sometimes hitting zombies below. The horde of zombies gathered in front of the mall grows larger every day. Anna's group makes a sign asking Andy to shoot specific zombies they point out, which Andy does with precision. One night, the survivors are having dinner and talking about their losses when the power suddenly goes out. Andre rushes to find his wife, Luda, whose condition has worsened so much that he's had to tie her to the bed. Later, 4 of the men go to find the generator. As they walk, they see bloodstains on the wall. Something moves in the shadows, and they all prepare to shoot. It turns out to be just a dog. Michael calls it over. The dog approaches them and then barks. A zombie drops from the ceiling and bites Bart. The screams and gunshots attract nearby zombies. Michael's group has to run immediately, but it's too late for Bart. They are forced to leave Bart behind to become a victim of the horde. Kenneth and Michael quickly open a steel cage for their friends, then shut and lock the gate immediately. But the zombies try to climb the fence, so they open fire to stop them. But their ammunition is running low. Then one of the zombies falls and breaks part of the fence. Michael spots a nearby gas pump, so he douses the horde with gasoline before CJ throws a lighter into it. The fire spreads, incinerating the zombies. Meanwhile, Andre finds that Luda has died. He leans down to kiss her goodbye but realizes the baby in her womb is still moving. Luda's eyes snap open. She has turned into a zombie. Andre uses his belt to gag her. At the same time, Norma, who hasn't seen Luda for hours, decides to look for her. She is shocked to find Andre holding a newborn baby while the zombified Luda groans on the bed. Norma quickly draws her gun and shoots Luda. Enraged, Andre fires back, and they both fall, hit by each other's bullets. The gunshots echo through the mall, and Arne's group rushes to the scene. They find Norma dying. Terry prepares to shoot her to prevent her from turning, but Anna stops him, insisting Norma's wound is from a bullet, not a bite. When everyone turns to the baby's cradle, they are horrified to find that the baby Luda delivered has also become a zombie. Having no other choice, they are forced to dispose of the child. After moving the bodies and repairing the generator, Kenneth tells everyone that just sitting here waiting to die is worse than death itself. Anna agrees. She doesn't want her life to end here. Michael adds that he saw 2 shuttle buses in the garage. If they could reinforce them, they could be used as an escape vehicle. Suddenly, Steve jokes that he'd rather escape on a boat. But this gives everyone a new idea. If they can use Steve's boat to escape to a remote island, they might be able to survive the zombie horde. With this new goal, everyone helps gather materials from the mall to reinforce the buses. The survivors work hard. They spend most of their time on preparations. During a break, Anna and Michael grow closer, sharing their first romantic moment. But a problem remains. They have very little ammunition left and still need to get Andy out of the gun shop, which is their best source for weapons. Kenneth communicates with Andy using signs, and Andy replies that he's hungry. Kenneth notices Andy looks much thinner, meaning he probably hasn't eaten in days. Since their preparations will still take a long time, the group needs to find a way to get food to Andy, or he won't survive until their escape day. Nicole remembers that their dog has never been attacked by zombies. So they plan to use the dog to deliver food and a walkie-talkie. When they let the dog go, their theory is confirmed. It runs through the zombie horde safely, but as Andy opens the door for the dog, zombies try to reach inside the shop. Andy quickly fires at them and manages to shut the door, but... As he picks up the walkie-talkie and contacts them. Andy delivers bad news. He's been bitten. Nicole is devastated and does something completely unexpected. She gets in the truck and drives straight to the gun shop to save her dog. Ignoring everyone's protests, Nicole parks the truck against the entrance and runs inside while the horde swarms the vehicle, trying to get to her. Meanwhile, Anna's group listens on the radio as Nicole rescues the dog. Kenneth uses binoculars to watch the situation from the roof. As soon as he looks at the gun shop, his heart sinks. Andy is no longer responding. The sign he used to communicate is now covered in blood. Everyone quickly radios Nicole, telling her to hide. Andy has now turned into a zombie. Anna's group decides to go out to save Nicole, which is also their only chance to restock on ammunition. A rescue team plans to enter through the sewers, leaving Steve to guard the mall entrance. After navigating the narrow passages, they emerge onto the street. As soon as they open the manhole cover, the rescue team opens fire on the surrounding zombies. Kenneth takes down several zombies, but one suddenly rushes him and wrestles the gun from his hands. Then everyone scrambles onto the truck and climbs through an opening. They quickly gather as many weapons and as much ammunition as they can find. They follow a blood trail to a door where they find Andy. Kenneth looks at his friend in pain before pulling the trigger. They successfully rescue Nicole, but still need to get back to the mall. CJ gets on the roof and throws a propane tank at the zombie horde before shooting it, causing an explosion. While the zombies are on fire, the rescue team uses the opportunity to run through them. They finally reach the sewer entrance, but at the last second, several zombies tackle Tucker, causing him to fall into the sewer and break his leg. CJ tells the others to keep going. He will stay to help Tucker. Zombies begin to leap down after them. CJ shoves a gun into Tucker's hand and drags him along the ground, with Tucker firing back to hold of the zombies. But in the end, there are too many zombies. Tucker is cornered and swarmed. He looks at CJ with pleading eyes, but CJ has to make the decision to shoot Tucker before he can turn. He then rushes after the others. They reach the mall door, but Steve, who was supposed to be on guard, has vanished, leaving no one to open the door for them. The horde begins to climb the ladder after them, so they open fire to buy time. A moment later, Anna appears and manages to open the door, but she can't close it in time as the zombies force it open. They all have to run for their lives. Once regrouped, they take an elevator to escape the zombies, reaching the garage where they find Steve. Everyone confronts him for abandoning them to danger. They then split into two groups and board the buses. The buses burst through the garage doors, but are immediately surrounded by a horde of zombies, making it difficult to move. Everyone fires out of the windows. Meanwhile, Steve uses a chainsaw to cut down nearby zombies, but the horde is still too dense. CJ throws a propane tank and shoots it, causing an explosion. A large number of zombies are burned to ash. This clears a path for the buses to break through. Kenneth sees a zombie clinging to the back of the bus. He jerks the steering wheel sharply to shake it off, but in that moment, Glenn, who is holding the chainsaw, loses his balance, accidentally killing Monica. The bus loses control and crashes into a barrier, flipping over. The other bus circles back to help them. Steve sees things are going badly, grabs a gun, and runs off, abandoning everyone. He is ultimately tackled by a zombie. Anna is in shock to find that Glenn and Monica died in the accident. She turns to see Steve, now a zombie, and puts him down. Meanwhile, Terry tries to fight off zombies climbing onto the bus, but the gunfire only attracts more of the horde. Anna quickly searches Steve's body for the boat keys, shoots a zombie in her way, and gets back on the bus. Michael pulls Anna up while CJ provides cover fire. The bus speeds away, heading for the marina. When they arrive, everyone rushes for the boat. As the horde swarms in from all directions, CJ gets surrounded. He decides to shoot another propane tank, causing all the zombies to be blown up along with him. The survivors are about to set sail, but suddenly Michael stops walking. He sighs and pulls up his sleeve, revealing a bite mark on his arm. This means he can't go with them. Michael says goodbye to Anna before pushing the boat away from the dock. Once they are at a safe distance, Michael ends his own life. In the end, Anna, Kenneth, Nicole, Terry, and the dog survive. They sail out into the ocean. Days pass. Their food begins to spoil and the fuel is about to run out. They spot an island in the distance, but when they arrive, they find a horde of zombies waiting for them there as well. And that's where the movie ends. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Thank you.